So
Sean, he really made sure she dressed up with all the colors.
I gave my watch is
Just
yellow.
making sure.
Saan yung yellow kay Sean?
There!
Yeah, my watch and my skin tone.
Okay. Hindi na natin, OT na daw. Hindi ba pwede pag-usapan yung babae dun sa sewer? Lalaki pala yun, di ba? Lalaki dun sa sewer. Lalaki yun eh. Lalaki.
Happy National Flag Day, guys.
Aba, hindi ba
Happy
mo?
National Flag Day.
Thank you, Check.
Okay. Happy National Flag Day. Tomorrow, anong color tayo tomorrow?
Purple.
Ayaw bumitaw ng coat.
Ayaw
Tawan mo
bumitaw.
na
Wala
kami.
tayong guest eh. Okay. Wala tayong guest. Thank you once again to the ladies of the Primetime Newscast, The Big Story, to Cess, to Sean, and to Powie. On the show tonight, we've got the Indiana Pacers now just one win away from moving on to the NBA Finals. Plus, a lot of player movements in the PBA, including this blockbuster trade between the TNT Tropang 5G and the Converge Fiber Xers.
And we tell you who made the cut for the Philippine men's football team ahead of their match against Tajikistan in the 2027 AFC Asian Cup qualifiers.
I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Shaskila Tungkalaw.
And here's tonight's play-by-play.
Ramiro, the show by Mamoy. Victor moves, puts it on. Unbelievable. Gemma on the left side. Bakunas rejecting Estebo for the
Sige. Tyrese Halliburton making sure to give his dad John a proper welcome back to live games. My boys taking the spotlight to put the Indiana Pacers on the verge of making the NBA Finals. Indy defeating the New York Knicks in Game 4, 130-121 to take a commanding 3-1 series lead in the Eastern Conference Finals. A strong third quarter stand by the Pacers resulted in a 9-point lead entering the final period. With the Knicks still in pursuit though, Obi Toppin made what ended up being the dagger with 45 seconds left, draining that booming triple. Great assist from Hallie that put the Pacers up by 10. Throughout the game, though, it was Hallie just took command. Boy, making history, too. Finishing with a triple-double, 32 points, 12 rebounds, and 15 assists, becoming the first player ever to do all that in a postseason game without committing a single turnover. The stellar performance comes as Hallie's dad, John Halliburton, was finally allowed to attend Pacers home games live again. The elder Halliburton had been banned for confronting Milwaukee Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo at the end of round 1. Indiana can now clinch their first finals berth since Reggie Miller and the boys, Davis boys, Rick Smits back in 2000. And it will be this Friday as the series will move back to the Big Apple for Game 5. It will be tip-off at 8 a.m. Philippine time. Here's Halliburton talking about several guys, including a certain WWE legend who may have sparked his historic outing.
I just wanted to put on a good performance. You know, I wanted to win the game. You know, obviously my dad being here is special, but I mean, growing up, like, my dad was reffing a lot on the weekends, so he didn't get to come to many of my games growing up. So when he would come to my game, I wanted to play well. So with him being in the building, of course I wanted to play well. But I mean, we ain't gonna. I know we're saying free Pops and Pops is free, but he was not in jail. He happened to be in a very beautiful home, sitting very pretty watching NBA basketball. He's just fine. So yeah, I was happy he was in the building. Obviously, Triple H was in the building. That might have been a little, I ain't gonna say it was more special, but Triple H being in the building was pretty fire too. And just obviously the excitement in the city, seeing all the former players coming out. You know, G. Hill, who played with me for a little bit. Danny Granger, he said it's like his first time back in Indy. That's special. That's special for me. J.O. in the building. Obviously, Reggie on commentary. You know, it's special. And when you're winning, you can get people out the house to come watch you and support you, you know. So that's really exciting, and it's an exciting time to be a Pacer fan and be a Pacer alumni. And we're just trying to, you know, keep playing the right way and, you know, playing the right way for our fans.
You have to wonder who voted for him to be most overrated and if they still feel
60%.
the same way now.
A lot of NBA players.
Oh my goodness.
Probably a lot of them are thinking now, no, we got to
Oops.
eat what we said, yeah.
New York tried to battle Indiana's high-octane offense with its own firepower to no avail in Game 4. Yes, the Knicks were able to hang with the Pacers in the beginning, but toward the latter half of the match, Coach Tom Thibodeau's short rotation started running on fumes. Karl Anthony Towns hurt his knee approaching the final 2-minute mark, and OG Anunoby started to check on his ankle a couple of plays later. In the end, the game's frenetic pace clearly favored Indiana. During the match, Coach Thibs was already expressing concern as the Knicks tried to match their opponent's style of play.
Well, Coach, normally 56% from the field would be considered a success, but they're shooting over 70. How do you make it so you're not trading baskets?
Yeah, we got to get some stops. We got to get back in transition.
How specifically do you force them into the half court, and how critical is it to get them into later in the shot clock on their end?
Just got to make sure we have floor balance on the raise of the shot.
Thank you, Coach.
Meanwhile, in another NBA news, Denver Nuggets guard Russell Westbrook is all set to undergo surgery to fix 2 breaks in his right hand. Westbrook announced this on his Word of Westbrook newsletter. He also thanked fans for their support and assured them that he'll be 100% soon. The former MVP is coming off a season where he helped the Nuggets push the league-leading Oklahoma City Thunder to 7 games in the second round before eventually bowing out. In 13 playoff games this season, Russ averaged almost 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Brody had signed a 2-year deal with Denver last summer with a player option next season worth almost $3.5 million.
Here at home, Gilas Youth plunges back into action tonight in the FIBA Under-16 Asia Cup Siaba qualifiers. The Gilas boys are currently facing fellow undefeated team Indonesia. Unlike the first 3 games, Gilas was not able to pull away early. At the half, the Pinoys are up by only 4 points, 32-48. The Philippines has so far been dominant in the tournament, securing blowout wins against Vietnam, Thailand, and more recently, a 64-point beating of Singapore. Indonesia, meanwhile, have defeated Singapore, Malaysia, and Thailand. Gilas is looking for its 6th title in as many tournament iterations. Coming up, boxing returns to the Palaron Pambansa, and the action is nothing short of explosive. From grit to glory, meet the future champions stepping into the ring in Ilocos Norte.
And we're back. Thank you for joining us here on Play-by-Play only on One News. The Converge Fiber Xers are back on a winning track in the PBA Philippine Cup. Converge piling on the woes of the Terra Firma Jeep with a 117-103 comeback win. The Jeep quickly jumped to a double-digit edge in the first quarter. They even led by as many as 18 points in this game. But come the second half, Fiber Xers slowly found their bearings waking up and were able to snatch back the lead in the fourth and final quarter. Converge eventually outscoring Terra Firma 29-11 in a payoff period to get its sixth win in 10 games. 5 Fiber Xers scored at least 15 points, led by 18 from former Letran Knight King Caralipio. Justin Baltazar, Justin Arana, and Alex Stockton added 17 each. The Twin Towers also combined for 23 big rebounds. Terra Firma now slides to a dismal 1-8 after their 8th straight loss. The Jeep are now virtually eliminated from playoff contention yet again.
Terra Firma was waxed hot to start. I think they were 50% in the first half. Tapos apat na 4-point shots. They just cannot miss. Ito nga, yung sinabi ko before this game na we are not taking them lightly kasi at any given time they can beat any team. That's why those players are here as a PBA because they are capable. And I was very happy with the team, with the coaches, the help of the coaches, the whole team, na we were able to turn it around. Yung adage na offense wins games, defense wins championship, hindi lang ano yun, hindi lang saying yun. Ito yung nangyari ngayon. We cannot go with them ng ganito na makikipag-shoot out kami. We really had to defend. Defense was the key. So for this game, I give credit to the players for just believing. Kumbaga, we were able to bring it on earlier as compared to that index game where we turned it on third quarter late. Ngayon, second quarter late, we were able to turn it on already.
The Converge win comes amid reports of the team's blockbuster trade with the TNT Tropang 5G. Multiple reports say the Fiber Xers are dealing sharpshooting guard Jordan Heading to acquire the rights to former Finals MVP Mikey Williams. The trade is still pending league approval. If both teams stick the landing on the deal, TNT might just get a much-needed boost to its depleted backcourt rotation. Heading has yet to play in the Philippine Cup due to back problems, but when healthy, he's seen to fill in the holes left by injuries to TNT's last 2 Finals MVPs, Jason Castro and Reynam Batak. The trade also ends the long drama between Williams and the Tropang 5G. He now has a chance to start fresh with the Fiber Xers.
Well, another player on the move, Chris Porter, is back in the PBA on a fresh deal with the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters. Porter reunites with ROS head coach Ian Gia, who drafted him back in 2018 when the veteran mentor was still with NLEX. The 6'5" big man played for the Road Warriors until 2022 before getting shipped to his last PBA team, Phoenix. Since then, the former Ateneo big suited up at the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, or MPBL. Signing comes days after veteran Big Bo Belga was relegated to the unrestricted free agent list due to health issues.
Speaking of rain or shine, they're facing the Phoenix Fuel Masters in tonight's second PBA game. The Elasto Painters opened up the game by putting pressure on the defense from inside and out. Rain or shine ended the first quarter in front 30-25, led by Adrian Nocom's 12 points. The Painters were still in control in the second as the Fuel Masters found it hard to keep pace with their opponents. At the break, it's ROS with a double-digit lead, 57-43. The second half is still ongoing. Rain or Shine and Phoenix are battling for crucial placing in the Philippine Cup standings as the quarterfinals draw near. The Painters enter the match with a 4-3 win-loss slate, and a win tonight will boost their bid for a top 4 finish in the eliminations. The Fuel Masters, on the other hand, are in a must-win situation as they currently have a record of 2 wins and 5 losses.
In Lawag City, young boxers from across the country take part in one of the most anticipated events of this year's Palaron Pambansa. One of those ready to make a name for himself is J.M. Rosas of Mimaropa. A look into his early performances in this report.
Magmula ng regional meet, hahanda na kami papuntang Pambansa. So, pero may heavy training talaga kami ng mga isang buwan, buong isang buwan heavy training. Maliban sa nagtitraining kami nung mga nakaraan, pagkatapos ng Mimaropa Region Meet, naghahanda talaga kami para sa Palaron Pambansa na ito, pinaghahanda namin. Balak talaga namin sa kanya sana na mag-champion siya dito, mag-gold siya dito para mapunta siya ng Philippine team. Feeling namin masaya, masaya ang lahat ng mga kasama namin. Yung pinagpagura namin ay nagkaroon ng katuparan po.
Round 2. From the blue corner, J.M. Rosas of Region 4B.
Masaya po ako dahil nakapasok po ako ng quarterfinals at makakalabang ko po yung mga ibang region na mga idol ko na nagalaro po ng boxing dito. Maraming salamat dahil nakapasok po ako sa palaro pong ito.
That boy quick. Keep on going, J.M. Rosas. Meanwhile, after the break, more from the 2025 Palaron Pambansa. Up next will be billiards, where young pool players are looking to make their mark in the tournament. All that and more when play-by-play returns only here on One News. Stay tuned.
News. The next generation of Filipino pool stars are battling it out in the 2025 Palaron Pambansa. From break to finish, it's a showcase of precision and strategy as billiards adds flair to the Palaron stage. Let's look at the competition so far in this report.
The competition is heating up with exciting matchups for the secondary boys and girls level for the 8-ball event. That's happening right here at the MMSU Student Center. As the semifinals unfolded, excitement filled the air, and Paul Aguila, Assistant Tournament Director, shared his insights into the intensity and quality of this year's competition.
As we observe as a technical officials in Palaron Pambansa, along the years, nakita namin talaga yung progression ng mga players natin. As of now, they are really playing high level talaga yung caliber ng kanilang paglalaro. As Coach Francisco says nga na talagang halos pang international na rin talaga yung laro ng mga bata. And for us as the technical officials at the tournament director, we are proud na through the Palaron Pambansa, we can produce international levels that could represent our country in the future.
Adding even more prestige to the event was the presence of Francisco de la Cruz, renowned Filipino billiards player and one of the technical officials for the 2025 Palaron Pambansa.
Maraming magagaling ngayon dito sa atin ngayon. Buong Pilipinas na makakita ka ng mga batang hindi mo nakikita pero marami palang magagaling talaga sa buong Pilipinas.
The semifinals did not disappoint. After a gripping race to 5 racks, it was Region 11's Joseph Lanoy and Danreb Dagungog of Region 12 who emerged to face off in what was billed as an exhilarating race to 6 finals. And from the very first break, Joseph Lanoy brought undeniable grit and focus, qualities that powered him all the way to the top, securing him the gold in the secondary boys 8-ball event.
Maganda yung feeling ko ngayon po kasi naka-gold po ako. First po, papasalamat po ako sa kay God, then family ko po, friends, and also the Wild Blue team, and po, yung friends ko po. Joseph shared that after failing to qualify in last year's Palaron Pambansa, he came into this year's tournament with a renewed hunger and a promise to himself not to let the gold slip through his hands. From the MMSU Student Center, this has been Bea Escudero.
Moving on to football, the Philippine men's national football team has officially unveiled its lineup for their upcoming match against Tajikistan in the 2027 AFC Asian Cup qualifiers. Headlining the squad is Bundesliga veteran Garrett Holtman, who is expected to make his Philippine home debut after first suiting up for the national team in 2022. Also back in the fold is midfielder Randy Schneider, as well as rising playmaker Sandro Reyes. 23-year-old forward Andre Leipold receives his first ever national team call-up. He joins other mainstays including Bjorn Christensen, Harvey Gayoso, Jeff Tabinas, Amani Aguinaldo, and Quincy Camarad. The Philippines will host Tajikistan on June 10th at the new Clark City Stadium. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. This will be a key Group A clash as the Nationals look to build on their dominant 4-1 win over Maldives last March.
All basketball tonight's highlight reel, the PBA and, of course, the NBA playoffs in the Eastern Conference Finals. Okay, let's start sa PBA muna tayo. Converge Terra Firma was the first game earlier, and Paraiso out to Aljun Melesio falls down. Ball gets stolen away by Alec Stockton Tumalon for the slam. Hindi na gets mga bata yun. Tama ba kayo doon? Melesio, and then here's Alec Stockton Tumalon. with that one-handed slam. Look at the athleticism by Alex Stockton. The FEU product finished with 17 points, 5 assists, 2 steals. Converge comes from behind to beat Terra Firma here, 117 to 103. Okay, now let's go to the NBA. Game 4, Knicks Pacers in Indy still. Cat up fake, baiting Pascal Siakam and going all the way. Look at Zesty. Woo! After all that, Downs posted 24 points, 12 rebounds. But again, after all that, the Knicks still lost. Sorry, Knicks fans. Okay, from the winning team this time, puro Pacers na tayo. Cat on the wrong side. Revenge against Siakam. Oops, step back, and then nail it. Jumper, that's money. Easy money for Pascal Siakam. Knocking down that easy J. Look at Cat losing his balance, stopping on a dime. Boom, knocking it down by Spicy P, putting up 30 big points in a pivotal encounter. Up next, we have, of course, Hallie. Tyrese Halliburton, logo against Brunson. And look at the Sally after. Mocking Jalen Brunson, using Brunson's Sally after that 3. And look at that. And then the kiss. Whew, Hallie finishing with a historic triple-double. 32 points, 12 rebounds, 15 assists. Again, without a single turnover. The first NBA player ever to do that in a playoff game. And finally, Aaron Nesmith flying high in the open court. Here's Hallie spotting Nesmith on the other wing, and then goes all the way. Josh Hart tried to challenge, but no, Nesmith was already up, and away with a flush. Elevating and detonating. Nesmith finishing with 16 as Indiana defeated New York in Game 4, 130 to 121. Pacers up now 3-1 in the Eastern Conference Finals. They can close it out on Thursday in the Big Apple, of course, in MSG. During Game 5, tip-off will be at 8 a.m. Philippine time. Check.
All right, before we go, we want to congratulate tonight's big winners at the inaugural Pilipinas Live PVL Press Corps Awards Night. The ceremony honoring the brightest stars of Philippine volleyball is happening now at Novotel Manila in Quezon City. Brooke Van Sickle headlines the event as the first ever PVL season MVP. Other top awardees include Rookie of the Year Thea Gagate, Coach of the Year Sherwin Meneses, and the Team of the Year, the Creamline Cool Smashers. The PVL Press Corps will also hand out several special citations. The night also celebrates men's volleyball with Jude Garcia named the Spikers Turf MVP. Catch the full celebration live on the Pilipinas Live app.
Congratulations to all the winners. Well deserved. Of course, Coach She, Coach of the Year.
And Brooke, yes.
Brooke, been trying Brooke to be here on his show. She promised, but she's enjoying after winning a title. But happy for all the winners, as you said. And this is historic. I think tuloy-tuloy na to because PBA, di ba, meron yung Press Corps Awards. So ito naman, okay din to na may awards si PVL. And also, speaking of congratulations also for Gilas Youth. They just handed Indonesia their first loss. They've been dominant here. By the way, Indonesia getting their first loss in the FIBA Under-16 Asia Cup Siaba qualifiers. Final score 77-268 in favor of Gilas Youth, who are now 4-0 in the tournament. Congratulations. Grabe, no? Dominant. Sa Southeast Asia talaga. Kahit yung mga boys, well, Coach LA, kita tayo dito after the tournament. That's all from us tonight. Catch us again tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. for a play-by-play of the day's top sports stories.
Play-by-play is on One News, that's Signal TV Channel 8 on SD and Channel 250 on HD. We are also available on Signal Play and Pilipinas Live.
I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Chaska Calao. Thank you for watching. Good night.